What's up YouTube, Trix here. Today I want to share my Lightning Fulminating Concoction Pathfinder build. Now, this build is intended for people who want to play something off meta at the end of the league and just want to play something quite unique and not super overpowered, and that's probably the build for you. It's very off meta. Keep in mind it is not budget, and with enough investment you can kill pinnacle bosses quite fast, but even with 10 divine you could do pretty well on bosses. For your gear, the helmet, you want a lot of energy shield and crit chance and res for more crit chance for your skills, because they have quite low, well, not low, but they don't have the highest crit chance, only has a base 8%. On your chest you want res and as much energy shield and evasion as you can get, and some spirit as well. I think 25 spirit works here, but I just got 50 because it's nice. For gloves, Hand of Wisdom in action is best in slot here, gives quite a bit of damage and is just completely insane for ranger builds. For your boots you want a lot of movement speed and some evasion and energy shield rating and life and res. For your belt, you want Ingenuity. Ingenuity is just best in slot belt on pretty much every build at the moment. It's completely overpowered. I hope they either add some new belts or nerf it, because it's insane. For your rings, you want lightning damage, elemental res, and best is lightning res here. You also want rarity as well. You don't need lightning damage, but it bumps up your damage quite a bit. For your amulet, you want barbaric strength allocated for more critical damage bonus. You want rarity, projectile skills, crit chance, maximum energy shield. Max energy shield is not, and rarity isn't that needed, but they're nice to have. For the bow, you want Widow Hell. This is pretty much what makes the build work. If I take this off, we lose pretty much all our damage. You want around a 270%, which is around a divine-ish at the moment with elemental damage runes, because elemental damage does work for concoction. And for your quiver, you want, this is probably the most expensive item in the build, you want projectile skills +2. This is pretty much mandatory as well. And you want critical hit chance for attacks and dex, or critical damage bonus works as well. Visceral quiver is the best quiver here. Damage with bow skills does not work on concoction skills, keep that in mind. In your offhand, you want Crest of Adura for cooldown recovery for blink, so you can run around faster. The skill gems on Fulminating Concoction, you want Scattershot. It does say less damage, but you fire 2 more projectiles, so you fire 3 projectiles, which ends up being a lot more damage per second than having just 1. You want Martial Tempo to attack faster, close combat, because you're always up close with the boss. Lightning Infusion and Lightning Mastery. I've been messing around with Super Critical, but I feel like more crit chance feels a lot better on this build than crit damage, because Lightning Conk has a very low base crit chance. For Herald of Thunder, you want Cold Infusion to be able to freeze with it, Glaciation, Long Shot, and Cold Penetration. If you do want to spend for another link, you can get Ice Bite here. Herald of Ice, you want Conduction, Magnified Effect, Lightning Penetration, and Innovate. Ghost Dance for bosses, you'll have Fast Forward to gain the charges faster. Grim Feast, Cannibalism, Clarity, they're not needed, but they're just nice to have. Alchemist Boon for bosses, or during maps if you feel like you've got not enough flask charges. Eye of Winter with Deceleration and Inspiration, and Unleash, so you can fire 3 at once and not cost all your mana in one cast. Voltaic Mark with Persistence, so it can last longer on bosses. Wind Dancer with Blind and Maim, so you have a lot more survivability, and then Blink for your offhand with cast speed and Ingenuity for more cooldown recovery rate. Mapping, I use Wind Dancer, Grim Feast, and Herald of Thunder and Ice. And for bosses, I take off Grim Feast and put on Ghost Dance and Alchemist Boon. The Ascendancy, you can run Running Assault or Enduring Elixirs. but you need the concoction skill and traveler's wisdom because that gives quite a few passive points, as well as this for more flash charges during maps. Weapon set 1 is for critical damage, and weapon set 2 is for movement speed and cooldown recovery for blink. On this tree we go a lot of crit nodes, critical damage mainly, and a few energy shield nodes, energy shield and evasion, and unarmed and projectile damage to help ramp our damage with lightning concoction. For jewels, I have 1 against the darkness for more cold damage to make our herald chains a lot bigger and be able to chain heralds just off lightning conch. Great jewel modifiers are critical damage bonus and attack damage. I have that on every single emerald. Adorned setup, in my opinion, is not as good as no adorned because you can get a lot more mods on your jewels that are quite a lot better than just pretty much double jewels, unless you've got like 100% adorned. Then adorned is always going to be better. Atlas tree is standard. I haven't put skills into there because I do not run simulacrum or expedition. Run much rituals because they're quite expensive to run. How the build plays is you can deal insane herald explosions with the crazy base damage on lightning concoction, which goes up to like 900k DPS in maps because of extra critical damage bonus when you critically hit and non-critically hit enemies. And for bosses you just spam lightning conch and Eye of Winter and Voltaic Mark to crit and do more shocks to the boss, so you can get like 2 million DPS on bosses, probably maybe around 3 million if you're lucky. That's probably gonna be it for the build guide today. By the time this video comes out, I will be live on Twitch and YouTube. We're gonna be building a shattering concoction build for Pathfinder, as that seems better than lightning concoction, but I just wanted to play around with lightning concoctions because it looks cool as fuck. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and I hope to see you over in the live stream. Thanks.